Guys, I got a special treat for you today. Some of you may not know who this man is, but I tell you this right now, he is an absolute genius, and his van is right behind us. This is Scott. Your Instagram handle comes with a view.
Correct.
Right? All one word?
All one word.
Yeah. Check it out. It is absolutely amazing. You just launched a website.
Yep.
Give it the full URL, and then I'll put the link, everything right here.
It's thewonderful.co. So and then wander is WANDERFUL .co.
Perfect. I'm not even going to give you too much information about this because there's so much information on this site, and you have a lot of it for free. Like way more than I would expect. I would say a solid 85% of your content is free on your website.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably accurate.
Yeah, 85%. And then there's an upgraded version, but oh my God. Go to the link below. It's all of your build information.
Yeah.
Let's go take a look in his van right now. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go take a look.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna start at the main entrance of the van here. This is like the foyer. This part of the van is something that I didn't originally include. This is actually my kind of indoor plumbing that I use in the winter when I'm snowboarding, because my primary freshwater source is under the van. When I'm snowboarding, I have to drain that because of potential freezing issues. So after the first year in the van, and I spent half of it in freezing climates, I had to come up with an alternate plan. So I did this. It's a very simple solution. Let's kind of show that you get a quick shot of the inside. But I just have two 6-gallon jugs. One of them is fresh water, one of them is gray water. And then I also, in the winter, I use my 12-gallon hot water tank as a holding tank. So I actually have 6 plus 12 is 18 gallons of fresh water in the winter.
Nice.
And then in the summer, when I'm not worried about freezing, I have another 25 gallons of fresh water underneath the van that I use.
Got a whole bunch of fresh water.
Between drinking it, the dog drinking it, doing dishes, showering and everything, that probably lasts me about 3 weeks.
And what's your dog's name? I got to throw up a picture of your cute little pup you got.
Yeah, I don't have her with me right now. Unfortunately, she's visiting my parents in Palm Springs. They miss her more than they miss me when I'm on the road. So her name's Ellie, but he'll toss a cute little photo up.
I am, man. She is the most adorable thing in the world.
Keep coming into the van, you'll see that the first thing here I have is this is kind of my closet area. So this whole thing is a massive kind of wardrobe unit. A lot of people say, man, that's a ton of space that you've dedicated to just clothes. As I mentioned before, I like to be in the summer, do surfing and stuff in California, and then in the winter I also chase snow and do snowboarding. So I kind of need all season clothing. I need ski pants, ski jackets, raincoats, wetsuits, all of that. For me, I thought that van life was going to be about escaping the winter because I'm from the middle of Canada and it's very, very cold where I'm from. Once I had the ability to go to winter climates at my own will and when I wanted to, I found myself going there more than I thought I would.
I'm going to show your roof. You have snowboards and you have surfboards up there. You have best of both worlds.
Yeah, golf clubs, I got it all.
Damn, that's good loving right there.
So then underneath here, I just kind of have, this is just more clothing, storage, and then this is kind of all my shoes.
Oh, we have lights.
You buy these lights in a pack of 12, and for whatever reason I felt like I had to use them all. I did put them on a dimmer and on 2 separate switches, so it's kind of nice. I can turn them on in the front half of the van and dim them, or I can turn them on in the back half of the van and dim them. Even though there's 12 lights, it actually works out pretty well. So yeah, this is kind of the kitchen cooking area. I've got the window here, which is nice. I'd like to say you can kind of look out of it while you're cooking, but I mean, maybe if you're 3.5 feet tall, you could do that. I am short and I still can't really see out of it, but it's great for natural light and just makes the van feel a bit bigger. Yep. I went with a induction cooktop. So I cook with electricity. Big thing when I was building my van is a lot of people, as you probably know, they will use like propane or camp stoves to cook with. Yep. I really wanted a single fuel source. I wanted everything in the van to be either diesel or solar. The diesel cooktops were quite expensive.
I've heard.
Yeah, I think most diesel cooktops, it runs in kind of the $1,500 to $2,500 range, depending if you get the ones that are a combination heater. And I just couldn't justify the cost, so I upgraded the solar system so I was able to cook with it. And that way, the whole solar in the van's much better, and I can cook with the electricity. Underneath that, we've got It's a fridge made by a company called Winter. I think it's the DTZ62.
Yeah, love this fridge.
So it pulls out, and this half is a freezer, and this half is a fridge. So it's got independent controls on the side, so I can set the 2 different temperatures. I really like having the freezer. I guess it depends on your diet. I am vegetarian. I don't freeze meat, but I like having, you know, frozen fruit is great to have and stuff like that I can keep frozen. And the top loading for me, I chose that over the front loading because it's not as nice, but I can jam so much more stuff in there.
So I hear.
I mean, it's a bit of a rat's nest in there usually, but I can keep, you know, depending on what I'm buying, I can buy groceries for 3 weeks and I'm good.
We talked a little bit about everything's running off electric.
Yeah.
For the most part. What's your solar setup? What's your solar watts on your roof and your batteries?
I have two 260 watt panels, so 520 watts of solar total.
Yep.
And right now that is running to two 335 amp hour AGM batteries.
Beautiful.
I'm comfortable running those batteries down to about 60%. I don't do that every day, obviously. Usually they only get down to about 80 before they charge back up.
Yep.
But I tell myself I've got around 150 usable amp hours out of those batteries.
That's plenty.
The way I cook, the way I do things in the van, it's tons of power. So if I was to do things again, I mean, lithium batteries have come a long way in both, you know, size, weight, and cost in the last 4 years. So AGM batteries and weight, you know, so that might be something I'd look at in a future build.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because that's how I thought too.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm waiting for these to get better.
Yeah.
2 years ago, and they've come a long way in even 2 years.
Yeah, so once these, I mean, batteries, they do have a shelf life, right? They're not going to last forever, especially when you're using them in this. So in the next couple of years, when I do have to replace them, lithium is something, you know, I'll probably look into at that time.
Sweet. I'm going to switch places with you. It's okay. Now I'm actually in your bed section pretty much, and you're going to open up the cabinet right to your left there, the upper cabinet, because we're going to show this off, man. I'm sorry. Because this thing is like, you are an electrical wizard. And this is like all of your switches, and why don't you just kind of go over everything, because, and if you could touch on your internet.
This is, I kind of call this my control center, command center. I put everything in its own cabinet here and have it so close so it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, because I wanted to get more of that kind of apartment feel.
Yeah.
And I felt if I had all this stuff visible, it kind of detracts from that. So I kept it all in this one kind of tidy cabinet. I've got the marine switches here, marine rocker switches. And then up here I just have a little thermostat. I've got my Victron Energy battery monitor. I've got my S-Bar thermostat. These are my tank sensors.
Yep.
For my gray water, fresh water, black water. And then this turns my inverter on and off for all my AC power. We'll open this up. So this kind of pivots out here, and you can see that this is all of the wiring kind of feeds back to here, so I can troubleshoot everything. I've got a wiring diagram, so I know every one of these wires on every bus bar, every terminal block. I know where it goes, what it does. So if I do need to troubleshoot something, it's very easy to do. This is my internet setup. So I'm using the Cradlepoint IBR 1100. For those of you that aren't familiar with kind of mobile internet systems, Cradlepoint is kind of one of the leaders in that technology. They outfit most of the police cars, ambulances, fire trucks that require kind of internet, reliable internet kind of wherever they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then this whole system is powered off a 12 volt, but then these other wires, they feed to a omnidirectional antenna I have on the roof. I can pretty much get internet, you know, not anywhere, but say where my cell service stops working, I can probably pull internet for another 10-15 miles past that.
Nice.
Living kind of the digital nomad lifestyle, and for me a part of that is being able to have reliable internet so I can do my job. It's something that I recommend looking into. And if anyone has any questions on the Cradlepoint system and how I have it set up, you know, don't hesitate to shoot me a message or drop something in the comments. I'll try to check these regularly and answer as many of them as I can, but their support is fantastic too. I
switch back with you. Your table obviously goes down in your bed. You don't have to do that right now, but you're on a telescoping pedestal, which is, I see that it's obvious, but they might not. That obviously goes down into your bed and you sleep. But you showed me a feature on your table, which was one of the coolest things ever. And maybe you can explain more on what I'm talking about.
This layout for a van is fairly common to have kind of, you know, the counter space here and then a back bench area with a table that goes down to becomes the bed. The problem for me with this design was that because my toilet and shower are in the back of the van.
Yep, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, getting past the table, you have to do kind of this shimmy move. It's hard to get around that because you need the table to be the exact size of the opening because it has to fill that when it's a bed.
Right.
So what I did is I created a kind of a pedestal slider system using drawer slides that allows me to, there's 2 latches here, you can't really see them, but I can grab these and then the whole bed moves to the side.
Yep.
And then I can just walk past nice and easy.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But it actually slides in 4 directions, so you can see it moves side to side, and then it also moves front to back. So yeah, the nice thing is that with the pedestals, I can just flick the latch here, and I can spin it like this, and I can really move it kind of right out of the way, and I've got all this extra space.
That's pretty cool.
The pedestal allows it to spin, and then the slider allows it to move in those 4 directions, so I can kind of get it in and out of the way when needed.
You showed me your bathroom area, and you actually do have a shower in here, which I was not aware of. If you're okay with showing it off,
yeah, let's
show it off. Because you have your toilet. I'll let you talk, because you're obviously better at it than I am.
Back of the van here, I've got the RV toilet by Dometic. So this is a full flush toilet, pulls fresh water, and then the waste goes into a black water tank. I have a 12-gallon black water tank. This part of the van, actually, I find it to be like one of the least impressive things, but it always gets like the best reaction when I show people. I think it's because no one expects it.
Yeah, it's very unexpected.
But in front of the van, we can maybe insert a shot of this after, but you can see this, the toilet actually sits in a shower pan, and this grate lifts out. You can see this reveals a nice shower pan with a drain that goes into my gray water tank. So I pull that out, that grate just lifts right out, and then this cabinet flips up like this. You can see this move out of the way. And then this shower curtain, it drops down. It's perfectly measured with the shower curtain holder here, so it drops perfectly in here. And then I actually shower just standing in front of the toilet. So I've got my shower head here, hot and cold water, and yeah.
And that's a perfect little shower you got there.
It works perfect. The hose is long enough, so if I'm surfing or if I'm, out in the middle of nowhere and I can shower outside, I can just stick it on the window using a suction cup. The shower goes into a gray water tank.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, so I've got a gray water tank right here in the area where the spare tire typically is.
Gotcha.
And then I have a black water tank just beside that on the driver's side.
Gotcha.
So it's 2 separate tanks.
Gotcha.
So the sink and shower go to the gray water.
Yep.
And then the toilet water goes to the black tank. Yeah, I thought I would just kind of show you the bed area. Because I do work from my computer, I did want like a nice sort of big area where I could put my computer and kind of spread out, whether I'm doing photos or videos or just answering emails. It is nice to have a kind of a nice big workspace here. And if I do have other people in the van, they can sit on the other side. So this is my work area, this is my office. A lot of people don't want to dedicate this much space to it, but for me, I really enjoy having the ability to kind of spread out and not feel... I feel like I can comfortably work in here. I don't feel like I'm really sacrificing anything. A question I get a lot of time is, isn't it a pain to, always make the bed?
Actually, you know what? I won't even time lapse it. We'll just go.
Yeah, we'll just
run it and see how fast. Not fast, but see how long it really takes.
See how long it takes. So I just throw the cushions. I usually do it from the other side. So this is, I'm doing it in reverse here.
A little unorthodox.
Yeah, this is the. You're testing my skill here.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, so I just gotta flip these cushions up so I can drop the bed down past them. And then I just pop those. Those slide in. And then... and the bed is done.
That was maybe 60 seconds?
I mean, I'm not very tall. I'm about 5'8", so I sleep across the van this way, and I fit. I've maybe got an inch or 2 on either side. I mean, you couldn't be much taller than me and sleep straight across, but I think corner to corner it's about 6'6". So if you sleep on an angle, it's plenty of room.
Yeah, it's plenty. I'm finishing up with Scott now, and I hope you guys enjoyed his build. It's a 2016 Sprinter, by the way, right?
Yeah.
2016, 170-inch wheelbase. I don't know if we said that at the top of the video. Your website you gave us earlier. Why don't you say it again for us? It's thewonderful.co. I'm sure you'll toss a link in the description. I'm going to toss a lot. Everything is going to be in the description below. I'm going to pin a comment below. But pretty much everything that you've done in this van, even dimensions-wise, your layout, everything, your plumbing, everything you've done that you've come in contact with, because you've done this build and you've helped others with other builds, correct?
Yeah, I've helped. I'm not full builds, but I've helped a lot of other people with parts of their builds. When I've been traveling around, they've shot me a message, say, "Hey, you're in the area. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that?"
And it took you quite a long time to build this site for people that they want to do their own build, and you've gotten inundated with questions on how to do this or how to do that, and you created this site for that exactly.
I think anyone that's built out a van, I'm sure you get it all the time, you get a ton of questions.
Yeah.
And, I did my best to answer pretty well all of them for the past kind of better part of 4 years.
Right.
But even the way I was answering them, I was doing my best through Instagram and Facebook and email, but now it's like, okay, this is exactly how I did it.
Do you want to say how long it took you to build it?
It took me about 2 years to put the whole thing together.
Guys, he put 2 years of effort into building a website for everybody out there that is going to be building a van or wants to upgrade their van. Everything is in this site. And I'm telling you, 85% of it, like I said earlier, is free. That is a lot of information. And if that last 15 to 20% is so valuable. Like, I can't put a price on it because I looked at it earlier today with him. You went into extreme detail.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me when I was researching building the van is there's so much out there. And I found vans that I liked, and I wish there was something that was just like, the guy who built that van, it was like, this is how he did it. Mm-hmm. And so I've put that together. If you like my van and you like the way that I've done it, this is how I did it. Mm-hmm. But then I've also included, well, if I was to do it today, what are the things I would change? Because I learned a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And people, when you're building these vans, I mean, you're taking a lot of time and you're spending a lot of money to do it. So you want to try to get it right the first time, right? And so I learned a ton. So I've included, everything that I wish I knew when I started.
Yeah, so you put pro tips in there. You put other people's tips in there. You probably put some of my tips in there. I don't even know.
Probably.
So, guys, it is a true van building guidebook. When I did my build, I wish I had your book, man. Go check out the website below because you want a van like this. You want his knowledge. Somewhat of mine because he's actually smarter than me. Go check out the book, guys, and geez, I hope you guys like Scott's van. Anything else, bud?
No, I think that's everything. The other piece of advice I'll give people is when you're building out your van, don't put a timeline on it.
Yes.
Because the minute you put some kind of deadline on it, you're never going to hit it, and the whole thing stops being fun.
Very, very good advice.
Building out the van is a big part of this lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Because when you're done, it's a big accomplishment. So enjoy that, enjoy the accomplishment, and then go and enjoy the lifestyle.
Patience.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
All right, well,
I'm going to hang out with him a little bit longer, guys. I'll see you later.